Hi everyone, my name is Jolene, also known as Bookworm Adventure Girl, and I am new here on YouTube, so thanks for checking it out. I thought I would use my first video to give you some information so you would know a little bit about me, and I look forward to learning a little bit about you as well. The first and most obvious thing is that I love books, and I love to read, I love talking about books, I love sharing books, I like learning about new books and new authors. The second thing is that I'm from Canada. I live in Ontario, Canada, and today is a holiday. So if it's a holiday where you are, then I hope that you are doing well and that you're enjoying your day, even though we are in the middle of a global pandemic. The global pandemic, although it has been scary and weird and strange, one of the good things that has come out of it is that I have been reading a lot more than I normally would be. The second thing that has come out of it is that I've spent a lot of time with my two dogs, Candy and Jax. I know, they're very cute and they are like live stuffed animals, and I'm sure that they will make some cameo appearances in some of my videos, so stay tuned for that. The other thing is that I love adventure, all kinds of adventure, from trying new food to meeting new people, traveling to new places, skydiving, ziplining, pretty much anything goes. So this is a new adventure for me on YouTube, and I really hope that you join me. So I thought what I would do for my first video is to share 4 book recommendations of 4 books that I recently read. So I'm going to share a thriller, a book of short stories, a memoir, and historical fiction. So the first book that I'm going to share is called The Shadows by Alex North. It's my first book that I've read by Alex North, and according to Goodreads, Alex North is from the UK and has written other crime and thriller books but under a different name. So I don't know who that person is. If you do, let me know. This was a creepy read, but in such a good way. So if you like creepy, this might be for you. Paul Adams is the main character, and he goes back to his hometown because his mother is on her deathbed. But going back to his hometown means that he has to deal with his past. And 25 years ago, there was a murder. He played a part in that first murder. So as the story unfolds, we hear a little bit more about who his high school friends were at the time. One of his high school friends is Charlie Crabtree, and he gave me the heebie-jeebies. There is lucid dreams. There is secrets kept, secrets revealed, as there always is in this kind of story. And in the end, it's a very haunting and chilling book. So if that is your thing, I highly recommend checking this one out. The next book I want to share is by Cory Doctorow, called Radicalized. And this is the book of 4 short stories. It was a finalist on Canada Reads this year. It was defended by Akil Augustine. And the 4 stories were very interesting. My favorite was Unauthorized Bread. All 4 stories bring something to the table. They have some very interesting characters. There's a superhero, there's a pandemic, even though it was written before the pandemic, so that was interesting. There's a lot of technology, if that's your thing. There are some pretty important topics in this. Black Lives Matter is definitely talked about in this. Racism, systemic racism. So if those kind of things are of your interest for you, then I highly recommend this one, especially if you don't have time to read a whole novel and you just want to read one story. You could read 1 story a day and be done in 4 days. So check out Radicalized. The next book is a memoir called We Have Always Been Here by Samra Habib. It was also a finalist for Canada Reads this year. It was defended by Amanda Brugel, and this was Canada Reads winner of 2020. So the reason I think that this memoir is important is because it's a story that we don't hear very often, and maybe we need to hear it more. Samra Habib starts her story by telling us about her childhood in Pakistan and how her family tried to stay safe because they were worried that they would be killed by Islamic extremists. They moved to Canada when Samra is 10 years old. At 13, she finds out that she is to be married at 18, that a marriage has been arranged for her. And growing up, she didn't really care for how women's roles and expectations were. She also feared that she would lose her Muslim identity if she came out as queer. So it's a really, really good read. There's a lot of heavy topics: homophobia, sexual abuse, immigration, and they're important topics, and I'm really glad that Samra has given voice to those topics. It's there's also forgiveness and acceptance, and it's a really good read. So if you're looking for a memoir that's a little bit different, this might be the one for you. The next book I want to share with you is by one of my favorite authors, Lisa C. It's called The Island of Sea Women, and it takes place on Jeju Island in South Korea. And we learn about the Haenyeo. I think I'm saying that correctly. I hope I'm saying that correctly. The women in the culture are deep sea divers, and it's a very dangerous job. But in this culture, the men are the ones who raise the children, who cook, take care of the household. So when girls are born, they rejoice because they know that more women potentially could become Haenyeo. We follow the friendship of two young girls, Youngsuk and Mija. They come from very different backgrounds, but we follow them as they grow up, as they get married and have children of their own. And the backdrop to this story is Japanese colonialism, the World War II, Hiroshima, the Korean War. So it's a difficult story as well. There are some scenes that are hard to read about, but they are important, and they're important to the story. The story ends in 2008, so not that long ago. It's beautifully written, and it tells a story that I knew nothing about. If you're interested in learning more about the Korean mermaids, they're sometimes called, you might want to check out Lisa C's Island of Sea Women. Thanks again for watching my video. I hope to post videos every Monday and Friday. So if you subscribe below, you can check out this Friday's video, which I'm going to talk about some other books that I am loving right now. You can also follow me on Instagram and check out my website and my Facebook pages. I will put links below. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below, and I look forward to chatting with you there. Have a great rest of your week, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.